Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40K Universe. I am your host, Gershwin, and you are watching One Mind Syndicate. Today we continue talking about Chaos Space Marines as we get into 3 different war bands that are not often talked about, but have really cool backstories. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We post Warhammer 40K content every single day, and of course if you have any suggestions for topics of Warhammer 40K, comment down below. Also share this with your friends if you find it interesting. It helps out the channel. But with that said, let's get into 40 facts on 3 Chaos Space Marine warbands. The first Chaos Space Marine warband we will talk about is the Dark Wolves. They are a renegade Astartes warband, whose origins are long shrouded in mystery. Some claim that the warband was once a great company of the Adeptus Astartes Space Wolves chapter, though none would dare say this in earshot of any of the fearsome sons of Fenris themselves. This warband wears dark gray colored power armor with a light blue trim and red blasphemous chaos iconography. Skyrack's Dark Wolves are identified by the profile of a red, corrupted wolf's head, its small agape with a demonic tongue protruding from its mouth on a gray background. They adorn their armor with the usual heretical fetishes, totems, and trophies of their slain enemies. According to one legend, before the fall, the Dark Wolves had been tasked with an all but impossible mission in punishment for some unrecorded failing or crime. The mission took the Dark Wolves to the very edge of the abyss, and some say they lingered there too long, the taint of the beyond poisoning their souls for all time. Whatever the truth of the matter, the Dark Wolves are known to be in possession of a number of heavy tanks, which they field together as an armored spearhead known as the Company of Steel. It remains a matter of conjecture among the Ordo Malleus war savants whether the chapter possesses these mighty and venerable war machines before its fall, or if they were acquired afterwards. The lead war machine of the Company of Steel is a Fellblade, which the savants believe is a command vehicle of the company's war leader, whose identity has yet to be established. The Company of Steel has led numerous Dark Wolf assaults, falling upon unsuspecting Imperial worlds as a rockslide from a towering mountain that grinds all in its path to dust. The Dark Wolves have participated in at least 3 major invasions of Imperial space, allying with Taloman, the self-proclaimed Prince of Princes. This invasion was eventually halted by the Space Wolves, furthering the unvoiced suspicion regarding the origins of the Dark Wolves. The next warband we will take a look at are the Warp Ghosts. They are a renegade chapter of Chaos Space Marines who serve Chaos Undivided. The sinister legend that surrounds the Warp Ghosts is well known amongst the students of the profane, who itself has been the cause of considerable confusion as to the attributes of their actions and involvements in various wars and incursions down the millennia. The Warp Ghosts themselves are believed to be a sizable force, perhaps numbering several thousand damned Chaos Astartes at their core. Their true strength, however, lies in the possession of at least 2 scores of powerful warships, ranging in power from fast raiding vessels to the vast grand cruisers. Their flagship, it is claimed, is a Heresy-era assault barrack of prodigious size, known as the Spectre Ends, while Xeno gunships, stolen Imperial troop macro transports, and even a Nightmare Space Hawk are attested as under their control, according to unconfirmed reports. As well as marauders and world breakers in their own right, the Warp Ghosts are also renowned as mercenaries among the dark forces of the Eye of Terror and far beyond, owing fealty to neither god nor master, but only to the coin of strong flesh and blood, fealty and sacrifice. Theirs is a singular curse, to be condemned as withered undying souls, damned for some unknown sin or treachery, to ride the tides of the warp in search of new flesh to wear, as anybody that they invade is in itself quick to spoil and ruin by their tainted possession. Condemned to wander the tides of the warp, they have gained a reputation as the ferrymen of the damned, transporting vast war hosts of mutants and renegades, as well as Chaos Space Marine warbands, and the forces of the Dark Mechanicus, to ravage the stars, so long as the sinister price is met. These dark proclivities have led the Warp Ghosts and their nature to be confused in garbled after-battle reports with other Chaos forces they have carried to war, such as the Deathmongers and the Bleak Brotherhood and the Unhallowed, while they have also been known to have made common cause with Fabius Bile and his abominations on more than one occasion. Such mystery surrounds these renegade Astartes that barely a handful of confirmed depictions of their war machines exist in the archives of the Ordo Malleus. These fragments of forbidden knowledge have been pieced together by the toils of several generations of indentured Imperial savants to form a tenuous description of the cadre of siege engines within the group. This formation they talk about has been dubbed the Stygian Vanguard by the Ordo Malleus Inquisitors, and has been engaged by the forces of the Grey Knights on 4 different occasions, as well as the Exorcist and the Reviler chapter in an unknown number of encounters. The Stygian Vanguard is thought to represent a gathering of the Warp Ghost's entire heavy tank and siege capabilities into a single battlefield formation, and is thought to include amongst its ranks several dozen Vindicators and Predators, in addition to a Typhon heavy siege tank. The Stygian Vanguard is said to possess certain characteristics beyond those normally encountered, even amongst the host of the hell-tainted ruinous powers. Its attacks are invariably heralded by abnormal atmospheric phenomena, including the sudden appearance of unnatural mists, the falling of night during daytime, strange lights in the sky, and deep, haunting calls rolling across the land from no discernible source. Thus cut off, Imperial bastions and fortress cities find all Vox systems mysteriously silent, and allied formations ignorant of their plight. The first, and invariably last, sight the defenders see is a sudden parting of the mist as the Stygian Vanguard descends upon them, large bore guns raining death and destruction upon them. Even the strongest of defenses cannot hold against such a sudden and relentless assault, and it is believed that the mightiest of fortifications will come crashing down under their weapon fire. In the wake of the Stygian Vanguard comes the ground troops of the Warp Ghosts, though in truth very few defenders have survived to describe them, or if they have, their maddened ravings can hardly be counted as reliable. The last warband we will talk about is the Warband of Sektoth. It is a large warband of Chaos Space Marines dedicated to the service of Tzeentch, the Changer of Ways. The Warband of Sektoth is a splinter warband of the Thousand Suns Trader Legion that was founded and commanded by the infamous Chaos Sorcerer, Sektoth, the False Whisperer, a master manipulator of the powers of the Warp. The Warband of Sektoth wear power armor colored identical to that worn by the Thousand Suns, favoring royal blue with a gold trim, as well as ornate crests on their helmets, similar to the stripped cloth crowns of ancient Egyptian pharaohs. The Warband of Sektoth, like the Thousand Suns Trader Legion, incorporates the Ouroboros, an ancient symbol depicting a serpent or dragon eating its own tail as their badge. Sektoth, the False Whisperer, is a master manipulator and a leader of the rather piratical warband of Chaos Space Marines. He and the former Thousand Suns at his command strike without warning against anyone who has resources he requires in his research for the rubric of Ahriman. Dozens of lesser psychers have fallen under his sway, exchanging their martial utility for the honor of cowering at the helm of Sektoth's robes. His warband is large, with hundreds of elite Astarte warriors that report to him, and thousands of lesser soldiers who die at his bidding. When Sektoth desires the holding of another warband, he moves decisively and quickly. His light frigate, the Unyielding, arrives in orbit and hides behind a nearby astral body. He deploys his psychers in the local population to disrupt the daily operations of his target. His minions report to him telepathically, collecting information as they commit sabotage. What happens next has never been the same twice. Sektoth tends to prefer tactics that turn his enemies on themselves. He once gathered enough power to drive an entire planet mad with a single word whispered in every citizen's mind. This preference is not absolute, as he is not afraid to use more direct methods. He reduced the Gardens of the Exquisite Delight to swamplands by commandeering a hijacked iron-class destroyer and crashing the kilometer-long warship into an ocean on the far side of the world, wrecking the planet's climate in the process. In the wake of this seemingly random act, Sektoth harvested what profits he required and leaves the vultures to pick the bones. Often the resources expended far outstrip what he could possibly gain. Unknowable as his actions are, he is guided by a dark resolve and is granted resources by an impossibly powerful benefactor. And those were 40 facts on 3 Chaos Space Marine Warbands. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it inspired you to create your own Chaos Space Marine Warband. I really recommend creating your own warband as opposed to just starting a Trader Legion. When you start Chaos Space Marines, I've noticed you kind of get pushed a certain direction. You either get Coronet Berserkers or you get the Rubric, or no, what are they called? Yeah, Rubric Marines. Or you just get like regular Chaos Space Marines. But the real fun of a Chaos Warband, I feel, or just playing Chaos Space Marines in general, is creating your own lore. Like, the Chaos Space Marines, they're on Demon Worlds, and like we talked about yesterday, or a couple days ago, Demon Worlds, you can pretty much do anything you want as far as the lore is concerned. So the whole point of just kit bashing and really putting lore and your own twist on a Chaos Space Marine warband is where it's really at when you play Chaos Space Marines. At least that's my opinion. I would definitely recommend you guys doing that. It's not something that I'm doing with the Chaos Space Marine warband right now, but I will do in the future. Right now I'm focusing on my Skitarii. I'm really like kit bashing and trying to make my Skitarii look more grimdark and more like the Dark Mechanicus, but not really Dark Mechanicus. The lore is like shifty because they work with the Inquisitor, with an Inquisitor that was like pushed away. I'm working on the lore and everything, but I'm telling you, once you get on the battlefield with that army that has your own lore, you just feel better playing it. So I definitely recommend doing that, and I hope this inspired you to do so. The warp ghosts are pretty awesome. I mean, they possess bodies. I don't really know how that works as far as like Space Marine initiation, because like a Chaos Space Marine is still a Space Marine. So that means that they had to have been taken from adolescence and implanted with the gene seed of a Space Marine, turned into a Space Marine and corrupted, whether by that process or not. But does that mean that a regular Chaos Space Marine takes possession of like a child, and then that child goes through the gene seed implantation? Or is it just taking possession of a really like, you know, buff looking guy or whatever, take steroids and hope for the best, hope that the chaos gods will bless you and make you as strong as a Chaos Space Marine? Pretty interesting. And then of course the Dark Wolves. A Chaos Space Wolf army sounds badass. I think it would just be perfect, especially once you start putting in your wolfen units and stuff like that. That would be really good. Again, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed all of this. I'm just rambling now. But if you guys want to give me any more warbands that you guys would like to see a lore video about, just comment down below. Don't forget to share this with your friends if you found it interesting. It really helps out the channel when you do so. We do have a Patreon. A simple $1 a month helps us create more videos. If you can't do that, again, simply by sharing, commenting, and liking these videos, it tells YouTube that you want to see more content from us, and YouTube helps us out by promoting us and all that kind of stuff. So again, thanks for everything, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. This is Gersh1 with One Mind Syndicate, signing out.